in some secluded rendezvous that overlooks the avenue. Hello. Are you ready for tea time? I think I started that in the wrong key. Tea for two and two for tea. That's me and you. How's it go? A girl for a girl, a boy for me, a girl for you. I don't know. How is everyone? Ooh, I really put the smoky in today. I was trying to add a little smoky to my eyes. Welcome, welcome everyone to this Sunday brunch. Gosh, it's good to see y'all. Welcome, welcome. Today is November 6th. It is my older sister Sherry's birthday. Happy birthday to Sherry. Going to be calling her a little bit later. This is our Sunday get together for those of you who are joining us for the first time. We welcome you. We extend this table to all, and we only ask that you be kind. Be kind to all so that all can be kind to you. That is the only rule we have here at the brunch table. I will be hosting this brunch, and my name is Whimsy. And I appear as my alter ego on Sundays. Yes. The good doctor takes Sundays off, and instead, her annoying, egotistical alter ego, known as the Oracle of Whimsy, takes over. An ancient oracle, first conceived in an ancient riverbed in a land far away from here, yes. We pray that the rivers will return one day, yada, yada, yada. And now, as your host, I turn it over to you, and we will give you greetings. I want to also say thank you in advance to everybody who has decided to donate to our charity today. We are partnering with Google for the United Nations Relief Fund for people in emergency situations who need food relief. Many people are being affected by the war in Ukraine, increases in prices, inflation because it's harder to ship things, etc. So all of that is making life hard for all of us. So not only the people in Ukraine, but also throughout the world benefit from the United Nations food programs. And we thank Google for partnering with us. So for every dollar donated, it will be matched by Google. All right, let's go ahead. We'll turn the camera around. We'll go ahead and greet you all. Be sure and tell me where you're coming from. And are you eating in a restaurant? Are you eating at home? Where the heck are you? And what are you eating? Do you like it? Should I like it? Let's have a look. All right, Spirit Beyond the Stars is here. Hello, hello. Great to see you here. Oh my goodness, Spirit Beyond the Stars, there's some kind of expose. Oh, that's terrible. Well, we know that in propaganda, those types of allegations go back and forth. So we always want to fact check, because anytime you have a serious allegation like that, I do actually understand that it's politics. So, I mean, they accused Hillary Clinton of eating babies, right? So we always want to fact check. But yeah, not good. People sometimes who get into politics do have some strange ideas about things. Power stuff. Politics sometimes attracts people with personality disorders, unfortunately. Hi, Pat B. Great to see you here. Thanks for coming in. Hi, Melody. Harmon, great to see you as well. Melody, did we talk about making you a moderator? I believe we did at one point. Poof, you're a moderator. Hi, K Travel Tarot. I think we also discussed having you as a moderator. Poof, you're a moderator. Kay is a great friend of mine. Good to see her here. I miss you terribly. Hi, Geriatric Briggs. Thank you for helping out today. Sue Malik is in the house. Woohoo! Welcome, welcome. And hello to Susan Elaine. Great to see you as well. She's in Spring Hill, Florida. Wonderful. Hi, Susan. And hi, Pamela Doss. Thank you for being a member and thank you for supporting this channel. Debbie Brady, extraordinary, is in the house. Thank you for letting everybody know about what our charity is today. Hi, Connor Thomas. Great to see you as well. Mel Broussard is having a decaf mint green tea. Those can actually be very pleasant if they're made right. Wendy Burt here. Thank you for being a member and thank you for supporting the channel. Debbie Palumbo. Hello, hello from Clearwater. And we have Carol V. She's coming from Eve Beach, Hawaii. That's pretty cool. J Cat Lady, always wonderful to see her here. Kaika 357, hello. We got Boone Dragon here from Spokane, Washington. Joyce Beatrice is having lunch. Good for you. Well, guess what's happening on Tuesday? Remote views. Guess what's happening on Tuesday? Anybody know? Thank you, Susan Strickland, for that $20 donation to the World Food Program. It's much appreciated. It's the day to vote. So I voted early. I got a phone call from the precinct that I mailed my ballot to. Excuse me. They told me that somebody else had signed my signature. I told them, no, that's my doctor's signature. They said, we had 3 handwriting experts look, and that's not your signature. Please write with your signature. So the problem I always do is that when I'm signing documents, I will sign okay, this is my signature. I'll make it really as nice as I can, but that's not really my signature. That's my signature, right? So they were looking for this and they got that. So it happens every year. I keep giving my doctor's signature and I need to not do that. I got to do my slow, gentle. So little tip to all of you. If you have 2 signatures, they're going to catch it. Yeah. You drove 1,500 miles, Joyce. Wow. Amazing. Oh, there's an eclipse. Well, we will definitely do some blitzes on that. Would you all like that? We can do as many blitzes as you like. I did some 1-card tarot readings for people. All right, there's a little bit of cat hair, but it should go away. I did take an Allegra. All right. Well, I think everybody's here. Should we get started and start doing some remote views? Would you all like that? We're going to go ahead. We'll do some remote views at 8:34. We started the remote views, right? And then after we do the remote views, we'll do the Empath prayer like we always do. And then after the Empath prayer, you'll get a community reading. It'll be your weekly reading. It's a general for the audience, but we try to ask. Spirit usually knows what to tell people. I have a feeling it's going to be about the anxiety regarding, yeah. But anyway, so we'll do the community reading after that. Then after the community reading, we will go ahead and we will do some blitzes. We will blitz, blitz, blitz away. A blitz is a quick 5-minute reading. Usually takes 4 cards. 4 cards that I use symbolize the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th houses of the Celtic cross. So that's how I do a blitz. Not everybody does the blitz the same way. That's how I do my blitz. So you'll be able to see the 7th, 8th, and 9th and 10th house. Those of you who are learning the tarot, that is how I do my blitzes. So the first house or the 7th house would be your immediate environment. The 8th house, the other that you may have opposition with. the 9th is your hope and fear, and then 10th, the final outcome. So just to let you know how we use our blitzes in case you ever decide to use blitzes. All right, so let's talk remote views. All right. Excuse me. First off, how's the sound? I increased the sound for people. Should be okay. All right, so the first thing that people want me to talk about has to do with the war in Ukraine. People had thought there would be a ceasefire on October 29th. We also were concerned about the fact that Zaporizhia nuclear power plant is still, unfortunately, under control by Russia. Putin has also been talking about a dirty bomb. A dirty bomb would be where you basically detonate something or blow something up that has nuclear waste. For example, if they were to bomb the cooling pond, which is at Zaporizhia. So those are the kinds of things that people that are watching Zaporizhia are concerned about. So there's been heavy shelling. There's been some kamikaze drone attacks around Zaporizhia, the city of Zaporizhia. We've also talked about the fact that the head of the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant was kidnapped, basically, by the Russians. And some of the people currently working at Zaporizhia nuclear power plant have agreed to work under the Russians. Now, the main issue also is that the Russians are getting control of the Ukrainian power grid in the hopes of freezing out the Ukrainians. However, when Putin repeatedly tried to negotiate a ceasefire, which he did around the end of October, even before the end of October, there was quite a bit of activity, particularly France wanted to be involved, but Zelensky has refused to cooperate with any ceasefire because he doesn't want to give up Kherson, and he certainly doesn't want to give up Crimea or Kherson. So the fighting continues. And what we're seeing energetically when we put ourselves in the shoes of what it is to be a Russian dignitary, somebody close to Putin, what we're feeling and seeing is this increase of passive aggression and passive aggressive activity against Vladimir Putin. And the best way I can describe it is when you're working for a boss who's crazy and the work environment becomes increasingly toxic. This is the best way to describe how it feels to be working under Putin at this time. And so the best way to describe the energy is that his underlings are developing passive aggressive tendencies. Some have even gone so far as to openly mock him. Some are getting up and walking out of meetings. And there's a growing consensus that the people under Putin have begun quiet quitting. So it's just like if you're working for some company that doesn't pay its employees, doesn't listen to its employees, doesn't respect its employees. What starts to happen is that there are grumblings. At first, people are afraid, but then it starts to grow to such an extent that people begin daringly contesting and mocking. But the main energy I feel when I go into the Ukrainian war, particularly how the Russians feel that are working with Putin, is this energy of quiet quitting. They are done. They're not going to participate. The other thing you get is that in addition to quiet quitting, they're actually sabotaging the war. There's a lot of sabotaging going on. Supplies that never make it to the field. This is something that is going to start coming out. They steal it. So if you don't like Putin, if you don't feel he's listening to you, if you have a what do they call it, kleptocracy, where everybody's stealing everything, which is why their military looks so terrible. What do you think the people in charge who have loyalty to nothing are going to do when they have to ship bombs to Ukraine? You steal it and you sell it on the black market. You send it to Central Asia. Hey, the people in Caucasus, hey, How about the people over there in Pakistan and Afghanistan and Kazakhstan? Hey, you guys want some free bombs? So there is not only a quiet quitting that you feel when you go in as a remote viewer, but you're seeing something else. There's some stuff getting stolen. I mean, they are stealing stuff left and right during the shipping process. And so what's happened is that they're not only bankrupt, the Russians, but the stuff that they do have, they can half of it, the food, the equipment, the clothing, etc., it just kind of goes missing. And then the next thing you know, you're out in Mongolia somewhere and you're getting a great deal on a Russian flight vest. It's all going black market. I mean, it's unbelievable what you find. And then there is an increasing steady investigation. This is a second investigation going on inside Russia to access stolen money, who the insiders are in the war room that are actually stealing. So they come up with this, rah, we support Putin. Let's send all this stuff to Ukraine. And then they intercept with their friends, steal the stuff, and they send it. They start selling it out in the middle of nowhere. Or maybe you can get it in remote areas of North Korea, right? These areas where this stuff shows up, this old Soviet stuff, and you can buy it for a couple bucks because it's been stolen by people working for the army to make a buck. So that is part of why the stuff isn't there. That's part of why people are having to buy their own flight jackets, is this kleptocracy where nobody is loyal to Putin, nobody's loyal to the war. And so anytime anything gets produced or shipped, it's just stolen and sold outright. There's so much stealing and sabotage going on that it makes it virtually impossible for them to win the war at this point. That is how serious the problem is. Just anything that they can break open and steal, anything that breaking into storage units, stealing and then blowing up the storage unit so that there's no accurate assessment of what's been stolen or lost. That's one of the things that they've been doing. So if you're a criminal and you've been hired as a mercenary and you're loyal to nobody, why not? So it's a really interesting feeling to go into. All right, so that is the direction that the war is going in. I want to talk a little bit now about the Department of Justice. Yeah, it never makes it to Ukraine. It's like, ship it to Belgrade. Okay, stop in Belgrade. We'll take it from here. And next thing you know, it's off to the Mongolian-Russian border, and who knows, these outposts in the middle of nowhere that wind up with this weird stuff. Like, how the heck did this wind up here? Like North Korea's old Soviet train that goes 35 miles an hour. Like, it winds up because people steal it and put it on the black market. All right. So the next thing I want to do is talk about the Department of Justice. And people wanted to know a little bit about what is going. Isn't that crazy? Can you imagine? Well, that's what happens if you don't have laws, and that is why the Department of Justice is so busy here in the United States, because we have people that are trying to make it a kleptocracy. It starts with when you try to get private contracts for your friends in Texas. Hey, there's some money for a grid. Give it to my friend. He'll set up a grid. He'll set it. Yeah, hey, we want the money for private bit. So you get the money, you get the federal money, but then you just pocket it and you put out some crap that falls apart. But hey, you got the money because we don't believe in big government. We still tax you as more than ever, but now we take it for ourselves, for private company business, which also compromises our security because these private businesses kind of don't necessarily have America's security or safety as a major priority. They just want the money. So when you go into the Department of Justice, there's this huge, massive investigations that are going on in states that are basically acting like kleptocracies. And you have this major investigation that's happening right over Texas. And this is something that I've told you guys over and over and over again. It's really getting hot in here. I got to turn the temp down. I mean, it's just, I'm sorry, I'm doing this right. There we go. All better now. It's just like they literally took the same, it's like they took the Russian playbook and can you guys hear me now? Did I lose my sound? Is my sound okay? Hello, hello. Looks like I lost did I lose my sound? No. Talk to me. I need attention. It's good. Okay, great. Okay, so what happened was they began a criminal investigation into money that had gone to private companies based out of Texas, and it looked almost like a kleptocracy. And what we found was that they had begun multiple formal investigations, and referrals were likely. Jeez Louise. Into basically, they stole the money. They didn't do what they said they were going to do, and that has triggered massive audits. The other thing that came out from the Department of Justice when I went in was that they were, in fact, doing a criminal investigation on DeSantis and also on the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott. There's a DOJ, looks like there's a DOJ criminal investigation that is quite bad, not only over Texas, but Greg Abbott. And people think that DeSantis is not going to be prosecuted. That's not true. This looks like they could be prosecuted because it not only triggered an investigation, but the investigation triggered multiple lawyers. ACLU and other lawyers got involved, so there's civil suits. And then there's civil suits that are going to be happening, but there's also quite a few investigations into corruption that are being headed by the Department of Justice that could result in prosecution. These guys are in trouble because basically what they're being accused of is kidnapping. Yeah, so kidnapping, et cetera, et cetera. So it's actually going to heat up. And according to the remotes, this is in November, so it's now. This is really that you can't just kidnap people that come to America and drag them off. And I think that the press has not covered this, but this could become a lightning rod investigation for Texas. The power grid stuff, my God, you guys are in trouble, even to the point where the feds could actually come in and shut stuff down. And then the last thing, remember last week when we talked about remote views, that we were phasing out the meat industry, that it's not necessarily people like, well, I like meat, or I don't eat a lot of it, but I have it occasionally. That's not what we mean when we're talking about the big meat industry. Right now, for example, we have a major water crisis happening in the United States, in the southern United States, because people are growing alfalfa and other crops that need massive amounts of water to feed cattle in other countries. So our natural resources are being wiped out to maintain the meat industry in other countries like Brazil, for example. And again, it goes back to what Adam Schiff and Cory Booker and other activists have talked about, which is that this goes down very quickly. So the water levels right now are, remind me what state this is. I had it written down. They're lower than they've been in 1,200 years because we simply are not able to produce enough water for these crops that require massive amounts of water to feed the cattle. And so it goes back to this belly up argument that we've been talking about that takes about 2.5 to 3 years. 2.5 to 3 years. And it's because it's no longer economically feasible. So people get mad at me because they like their steak. I hear you. When I ate meat, I loved my steak with a little A1 sauce. So The party is over relatively quickly, right? The water's not there. That's it, folks. There's no water there. 1200, it's drier than it's been in 1200 years. So we don't have a choice. And like I said, it happens chick-chock. It happens quick, 2.5 years. So people can still have animal products, but it's no longer going to be subsidized by the federal government. So if you want an organic chicken, you're going to have to pay $40 for it, which is the real price of an organic chicken when you don't have government subsidies and when you take into account the fact that we simply don't have the land management. We simply can't do it anymore. Yeah, we don't. It's just, it's belly up. It's gone. Psh, over. Like now, their water isn't there. So what do? This is also something that Cory Booker has said. Never mind the massive methane waste we're stuck with. We're not producing meat and grain, etc., for America. We're producing it for China's. We're growing pigs for consumption in China. There's 1.7 billion people in China. Most are not vegetarians. So we just can't, we don't have the resources to be feeding China demands for pork, for example. And so we've got about 2.5 years before we have to phase out those contracts. And my advice to people is, if you really love animal products and in 2.5 years you still love your chicken, just understand you're not going to be able to without those government subsidies and with this type of problems with land management, you're just going to have to pay a lot more because the government subsidies are going under. It's just not there. The land isn't there. The water isn't there. The resources aren't there. I didn't think it was going to happen that quickly when I gave you guys the remote. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be next week. I try to give you 3 weeks early. But yeah, so it's now. They say 2.5 weeks, the government will be phasing out the subsidies. And we do have activists like Cory Booker. I don't want to pay for it. I don't want to be taxed and have my tax dollars go to subsidize a meat industry so that people can continue to make money producing pork to be shipped out to China, because they're going to have to find another way to get their pork. So that is unfortunately the remotes. What do y'all think? What do you think about the remotes? Let's talk about it. Let's open the floor. And then we'll do the empath's prayer. I should probably write this down. I mean, chicken takes less land, so you might still be able to get affordable chicken, but it's if you look at like the story, a chicken in every pot prior to the Depression, it was all about food subsidies, and we have to subsidize the chicken so that everybody can have a chicken in every pot, because people couldn't afford to have chicken every day because you got to grow the chicken. It took forever to grow the chicken prior to Frankenstein genetics. Now we can grow a chicken in a couple of weeks. Boom, boom, pump it up with hormones, grow it in a cage where it goes insane and then kill it and eat it. Like that's going to be healthy for you. Or we can have the original heritage bird. So it's living much, much longer and taking more land and more resources, and it's more humane, and it's not subsidized. So you're talking $40, $50 for a chicken. That's all. So it goes back again to a chicken in every pot. Like, whoa, we're going to have a $40 chicken during a depression. You think about what people thought back then. Holy crap. That's because they didn't have subsidies. And we're going to go back to knowing the real price of meat, that this is the real price of meat when we're not paying taxes and having our money going to pay for this. Yeah. I like turkey, That's something that I can see myself missing. It's a good, lean protein. Probably doesn't take as much of an environmental impact as something like beef is a big no-no. I mean, we can see the disaster that's happening with the water resources. Pork is a big disaster. That just the methane, just the waste alone. But when you think about the massive amounts of animals we're exporting to China, et cetera, we don't have enough land and resources to do that. And continuing to tax Americans to subsidize it is something that I think a lot of Americans are going to start to have a problem with. Yeah. Back to the days of organic chicken, organic beef. You know, a pot roast for a family of 6 is going to run you $150. So you're going to have it on Christmas. But you're not going to have it every day or every week. Nobody lives that luxuriously. This is the Christmas goose, right? $250 for a Christmas goose. You're going to have that you're going to have it on Christmas. That's part of your Christmas present is you get to have a Christmas goose. It's just helping us understand what the actual prices of things without subsidizing and without freaky genetics, right? Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and do the Empath's prayer. Would y'all like that? Well, I think that we're going to get to a point where we can produce meat products affordably that are hypoallergenic, that are very similar nutritionally. We're getting close. We're not there yet. When people say, I just don't feel good, I don't do well with gluten, or I hear you, but I do think in the next couple of years, obviously because of land management, we can't continue on like this. But I do have hope that some of the new lab meats are going to be ready and pretty darn tasty. All right, I'm going to go ahead and Geocosmic Valentine, I'm going to pin that so people can see that. Let's do the Empath's prayer. Okay, I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively, we say, Amen. Oh, I just got another hit from Spirit. Regarding the issue of chicken and turkey, they say that, Spirit from a natural order doesn't want it. No more factory. They will take it out. Spirit's basically sending a message to us that Gaia is going to take them out with avian flu. She doesn't want it. It's not natural. She doesn't want it. And so it will be phased out with avian flu. So we don't have a choice. So again, if we continue to produce birds for food in this manner, we will go belly up because the viruses, Spirit, Gaia is letting us know in the message that she will create stronger and stronger and stronger avian flus as part of the natural order due to the overcrowding and horrific conditions that these animals are in. And it will destroy all the birds as she's doing right now, because this is the natural order. They are not meant to live in these conditions. We've messed with their genetics. We've weakened their immune system. We've overcrowded them. We've stressed them out. And so we've created these avian flus, these new mutations, and they will become increasingly worse if we continue down this road. And so for that reason, she's telling us that the industry is going to go belly up in less than 3 years because the overcrowding is not conducive. It'll go bankrupt due to avian flu. However, the other message I have from Spirit to you is that the lab chicken, which is identical, the chicken breast, which is the same chicken breast, will be sterile and clean, and she won't interfere. Gaia is not going to interfere with that. And there will be no avian flu. There will be no viruses. There will be no concern for that. If you want to have a chicken in your yard and grow it naturally, Gaia is not going to stop that either. It's the factory farms going over. She's telling us 2.5 years, and that it's viruses that will, swine flu, avian flu. So that's the answer. Y'all feel okay with that? It'll be kind of neat to, I'll try the chicken because I'm vegan and I would love to be able to find a humane way to have turkey again. So the message from Spirit is in 2.5 years, we'll be able to get that food again, sterile, clean, with no risk of avian flu. And the other thing that Gaia is saying to us in the remote is that these avian flus are slipping into the wildlife. So the wild eagles, etc., are now getting the infections. And so we're messing with their genetics when it breaks out of these factory farms. So for that reason, she, as part of her natural order, has created these viruses to phase them out. And if we continue to fight her, she will make stronger viruses. I'm sorry, I'm just a remote viewer. All right, let's give you your weekly reading. All right, message from Spirit to you for this week. You only have to worry about being true to yourself. That's all you are required to do. That is the only thing that Spirit expects from you at this time, is for you to put emotion aside, be clear-headed, look at the candidates, and make an intellectual decision without any emotion attached to it. If you like Carrie Lake's personality, that's not a reason to vote for her. Look at what the policies are and put all emotion aside and try and be as objective as possible. The only thing that Spirit expects from you at this time is that you be truthful, that you live a truthful life. And if you feel that you have to live less than a truthful life, your health suffers. Your health will suffer if you are living a lie. And this is something that has to penetrate our consciousness, because part of being a member of polite society is that we sometimes feel like we cannot be authentic. Well, we can still be loving, kind, polite people who are kind to all, and so that all can be kind to us and we can still be authentic. But the message here from Spirit is, you must not compromise what your truth is. You must not apologize for what your truth is. You don't have to be cruel, but you have to be clear. And your karma card at this time is that Archangel Michael comes to you with his sword. He is the keeper of truth. The devil, the Satan, is traditionally the liar, the gaslighter, the individual that twists the facts in order to benefit themselves. And the only way you can fight against the liar is with cold, hard facts. Just think like RBG, right? RBG didn't become an emotional wreck when she had to deal with atrocious bigotry. She simply knew the facts and calmly stated the facts. Your karma is Archangel Michael. The other message that Spirit has for you at this time is that you are not to compromise your truth in order to get along with other people. Compromising who does the dishes on Tuesday. If it's your day to cook, then it's understandable that they have to do the dishes on Tuesday. That's a compromise. Lying to yourself and telling yourself that something is true when it isn't, just so that you can get along with people, that's not going to work for you. And so we have the Four of Cups associated with Archangel Michael. You reject anything that is not the truth. If it's not the truth, don't compromise. Yeah, you're right. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, I understand. Anything for you, dear. Yes, dear is not going to work for you right now. Where you are at this time, I feel a lot of people are like torn. How do I get along with certain people and still live my truth? So it becomes this kind of conflict. How do I live an authentic life when I'm dealing with personalities and issues that are forcing an agenda on me that I don't feel completely okay with? By the way, the fact that the base of the matter is Four of Cups tells me you're not going to compromise your ethics. And then your crossing card is the Ace of Swords. You win by not compromising your ethics. Stop compromising no, you don't have to compromise your ethics at work, at home, in the family. Stop thinking that your truth is less important because of whatever. Stop apologizing. What crosses you is you will have victory after the tears. What is above you? Others will try and reconcile with you when you grow some balls. Grow some balls or some ovaries. I say grow some ovaries. You have to decide whether or not you even want to bother dealing with certain people, quite frankly. I mean, you're sitting in a Five of Swords. Is this person even worth it? Maybe the best reaction you can have to certain people is to not even bother. No, thank you, Gray Wall. I'm not interested in what you're offering. I can't even bother with you. What you're coming out of in the past, you have the world. You already have what it takes to live a wonderful life. You just need to learn to say no to certain people. Archangel Raphael comes in as a healing. So you've got two archangels coming to you. Archangel Raphael comes as the Page of Cups, who brings the elixir, because Raphael is known as the healer. Somebody wants to come back to you and heal a wrong. That's the best way to interpret it. Somebody screwed up. He, she, they screwed up bad, and you're growing balls. And it's like, you know what? I'm sorry that you're not enjoying your trip with me. Maybe you need to move on because I'm not going to give you any money, or I'm not going to do that, or I'm not going to continue to compromise my ethics. And I'm not. That kind of boundaries and clear-headedness forces others to change beyond just a codependent relationship with you. And it's very important that spirit get that communication to you. You feel like you have been held hostage by people who are out of control. It's absolutely ridiculous. Do not let the crazies run the crazy house. Others in relationship with you all over the place, here, there, everywhere. Others will use you if you're not careful, and you wind up being stuck with the problem. So again, they're talking about boundaries for you. The highest ethics that you can have for yourself is to understand what we always say. Spirit always tells us God doesn't make garbage. The spark of God is inside you, so why are you being treated like garbage? So the hope and the fear is the foundation, the home, the stability, also concerns about finances, houses, security. They say the best thing you can do is be true to yourself, be true to what you believe. Well, what if I'm wrong? Well, what if you're not? In the end, we all have to make a choice for ourselves about what we feel is true to us. And all you can do based on these cards is try to the best of your ability to stand back from your own ego and look at things as objectively as possible, and then ask yourself, is this working for you? And if it isn't, it's time to move on. You are stronger than you know. Others are on retreat. Others will try to make things right by you, but you must continue. Look, you're very forgiving, but you need to learn how to say no. Final outcome for you is go with God. Be strong in your faith and your spirituality. All will be well with you. You don't have to save the world. Learn to let people save themselves. It's the best thing you can do for them. And by the way, calling people out on their stuff, that's the beginning of a healthy relationship. Spirit's very tough with people this week. And I think the reason why is because a lot of people in families are being pressured to vote a particular way, right? You have a lot of people, for example, that come to this channel where they'll have a spouse that votes one way and then they'll vote another. And then this tension starts to happen. Domestic violence increases prior to midterms. Did you know that? There are more domestic violence calls right around midterms. We don't want to have that tension where somebody's pushing their truth on us. So it doesn't surprise me that this stuff is coming up now hard. Learn to have healthy boundaries. Your truth is your truth. You researched things, you followed your heart, you looked at the data, and you made an intelligent decision. And that is all Spirit expects from you. If you made a mistake, you made a mistake, but you did what you could to do the best by yourself, and that's all that Spirit expects from you. And that is your weekly reading. Oh my God. Were they hard on you? I'm sorry. Maybe that was Miss Mabel coming in. I have a spirit guide. Miss Mabel, she just beat you up. I sometimes wonder, like, why is she always coming in? That was kind of like a message from Miss Mabel, wasn't it, Geriatric Brig? Whew. Geocosmic Valentine did that. I think that's one of her guides too. Miss Mabel works a lot with Geocosmic Valentine. What do you think, Geocosmic? Was that Miss Mabel giving one of her lectures, I think, right? All right. Ginger. She can be tough. She's one of my toughest guys. When she comes in, I get a little woof. But she is like, be about your business, child, and she will come after you. Oh, really, Gio? Yeah, it's Miss Mabel. I think it was Miss Mabel. All right. So whenever you guys are ready, Miss Mabel, we think from what we can understand, we could probably find her real identity. She's from somewhere in remote Georgia from the 1950s, from what we've been able to find out about this spirit guide. And she's very opinionated. She wants all the children to get along. That's basically what she always tells us when we work with that spirit guide. The children are going to get along, or Miss Mabel's going to come after you. That's right. All right. So whenever I get the order to blitz, blitz, blitz away, we'll go ahead and do that. And then also, in addition to the blitz, blitz, blitz away, we're going to go ahead and let you guys just ask whatever questions you have. Political, pop culture, I don't care. Usually we do cover pop culture a little bit more on Thursdays, but yeah, Jerry, yeah, that's totally like Miss Mabel. Yeah, a lot of people work with. I've met a few people that work with Miss Mabel. She's tough, but she also, if you think about her life, from what we've been able to think about her life, she, her job was to make sure kids didn't get snatched and stuff. So pretty gruesome history of that part of the world. Okay, so we've got a blitz, blitz, blitz away, and I've got a lot of questions that I have already received from you guys. Thank you, everybody who participated in sending the questions early. And of course, we will take questions new as well. The first question that was actually the biggest question I got all week long had to do with Elon Musk buying Twitter. And I had done the cards for Twitter and they were excellent, but Elon Musk, of course, has been crazy on Twitter and he's talking about charging people, etc. However, I still stand that the cards for the future of Twitter are excellent. So the first thing we're going to do is Twitter being and Elon Musk. I saw it actually turning out really great. And I think the reason why is because the people of Twitter are going to force Elon Musk to it can be something really positive. There's a learning curve, right? All right, so we're going to look at Elon Musk and Twitter. Oh, I think he'll probably sell it at this point, don't you think? Be a silent partner? Who knows? Good to see you all, by the way. If you haven't had a chance to like and share, that would be great. Also, I'm doing the Wizio questions today. I'm sorry, I'm a little behind on the Wizio because I had a head cold. But if you did send Wizio questions in, they're going to come out today. Yeah. Sounds like Valerie Bertinelli. I love her. Okay. Oh my, you guys over at Twitter. I know what you're up to. Okay, so you guys want to know what's going on over at Twitter? You're going to love this. Are you guys ready? Oh my God, I love it. So basically, what is going on privately in Twitter is that people who work at Twitter are trying to sabotage Elon Musk. Remember, we had talked about silent quitting and passive aggressive behavior and people that try to destroy the company that they work at. That's basically what's happening at Twitter right now. So remember how we read a Blitz, the seventh house is the first card. So we have the immediate environment of Elon Musk. Right? He's got the Seven of Wands. He's fighting to hold on to his land, hold on to his territory at Twitter. And he's being attacked from multiple sides. And the reason why he's being attacked by multiple sides is because the people that work inside Twitter are actively trying to destroy him. Y'all not nice over there at Twitter. So they're like downloading things and hiding documents from him. Y'all, did you know that, Mr. Elon Musk, that they were hiding things from you? They're hiding documents from you. They're preserving documents so that he can't destroy them or get a hold of them. There's all kinds of things going on over there. So what is going on with his opposition? Dun, da, da, da. The Hermit, they're looking for stuff. They're looking for ways to go after this guy. Look at him fighting. And they're hunkering down and they're using all those brilliant social media skills that they have because they work at Twitter to destroy him from within. Let's talk about that. That is a bombshell. That is huge. What do you think about that? Okay, so what do you think Elon Musk is going to do if his employees are all at war with him and hiding documents and downloading things and secretly plotting like Anonymous to destroy him from within using their social media skills? How do you think that he is going to respond to that, other than being defensive and trying to protect from all the holes that are leaking? Is this not awesome? Okay, karma. So basically what the employees and the people at Twitter are saying is, you're not in charge, we're in charge. You're not going to come in and do this. We have power, we have knowledge, we know social media inside and out. We are the geniuses, the masters, we are the anonymous. Those people work at Twitter. The people that are part of those hacking and those kinds of things also are embedded in Twitter. So you don't have a choice, buddy. What are you going to do? Fire us all? That's not going to help, because when we leave, all this stuff we've taken and downloaded and hidden from you that shows us how to destroy Twitter from within, including financial documents, etc., it's all in our hands. We have the power. You came in here and you thought you were going to have the power. You have no idea who you're dealing with when you're dealing with Twitter employees. Karma, baby. And what do you think the final outcome for Elon Musk? See, he came in and he thought he was going to fire all these people, not realizing who they were. And they're sitting there, oh, you think you're going to hurt us? Do you know who we are? Do you know what kind of power we have on social media? Do you know who we're connected to? Do you know what We have, and you think we're going to cooperate with you when you act like that? Of course not. We're downloading documents. We're getting private information. We've accessed this document and that document. We're communicating with these people. You have no choice but to work with us, because if you continue to act like this, we're going to take you out. Final outcome is 6 of Pentacles. Justice will reign. Balance will be restored, and he's going to have to work with these people. I think he's going to sell Twitter. Do these look at his work environment? Does this guy look like he's having a happy time at Twitter? He has to make a decision about this. They will take Twitter down. That's what they're saying. They will take this baby down. We're going and we're taking our baby. We are Twitter, honey. Oh, you want us to leave? Oh, no, honey. We are Twitter. This that you're destroying, that you want us to leave, not only will we take the entire infrastructure, but wait to see what we do with it. Welcome to Twitter. So he's got to make a decision, and he's got to make a decision fast, because you cannot operate like this. Look at this. You can't operate like that. What are they saying? We're investigating to take you down, ending it. They're pulling the plug on Twitter. Don't worry, we'll just recreate Twitter on another platform, because we all have the information, and we'll call it Twatter. Right? You treat us like this, we will take this puppy down, we'll pull all the resources, we'll move over to another platform. I can't believe it. The bottom line, we're sucking you dry. Probably a good idea if he moves on. If he doesn't move on, they'll just start a new platform, buy the old Twitter people, and take him out that way. How's that for harsh? Y'all want to talk about that? Jeez. I love that one person. We are Twitter. You take us out. We are Twitter. We are the foundation of Twitter. We built Twitter, and we're leaving. Great. We're going to leave, and we're going to take all of our toys with us. We're going to take you down. We're going to investigate how to take you down, and then we're going to start a new platform and take our audience with us. So he has to cooperate, and probably it would be advised that he sell, based on Spirit's message. That's what you have. That was what they said. Okay, let's keep going. I just thought that was wild. We had a couple questions. I want to make sure if you guys can do the red. The red things really help me. Okay, Sarah had a question. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you. I haven't had a chance to say hi to her yet. She wants to look at the effect of the eclipse on November 8th. Ooh, let's see if there's an effect. See, I'm not an astrologer, but let's take a look. Effects of the eclipse on the midterms. That's a fun question. Very sane. It's very, very sane. It's very balanced. I don't see fighting. I don't see major disruptions. I don't see rioting in the streets. The election day appears very calm and stable. It's presented with earth signs, which are very grounded. There's a lot of transformation happening the day of, with a death card in the 8th house, which would lead me to think that a lot of people will be switching their votes, or a lot of people will just be waking up and deciding the day of. So we have a lot of undecided. There's a real concern here about, sane reason. We have the final outcome, which is King of Pentacles, which again is a grounded energy, but it's also a business energy. And then the clarification for how things will turn out on midterms. No major violence, no major upset, very rational, very stable. And I don't see the end of democracy. It looks like probably a balance in the House and Senate. Probably, I think we'll take the Senate, but it looks like cooperation down the line between Republicans and Democrats. And I just don't see this huge violence. You can see here, again, reason, sanity, knowledge. The others we have opposition with, transformed and reaching across the aisle. The hopes and the fears, truth and reason, right? Because the king, or pardon me, the emperor is the prefrontal cortex. It's it's being rational and truth and rationality. And then the final outcome, we have the star, the anointing. We're going to be okay. And look, most people are good people, even if they vote for people we don't like. I mean, like I know lots of people that are conservative, but they're not bad people. They're just conservative. I mean, so I know there's the concerns about the MAGA wing, they're not all there, but they just don't have power in 2023. It just doesn't show that in the cards. Okay, we have another question here about Rep. Elaine Luria. That's a very old name, Luria, by the way. There's a very famous Kabbalist, the Ari, the lion, last name Luria. So Elaine might be related to him. Let's see. Is Elaine Luria going to win the House seat? Did everybody like and subscribe? Thank you. Yes, it's possible she'll win. You can see her returning back. Where is she? What state is she in? Is she from the Southwest? And then a desire to help, hopes and fears, betrayal, and then the final outcome here is a contract. So it's likely she'll win. Which state was she running in? I'm sorry, I don't know all the House races. I apologize. Yeah, conservative. I mean, we all have a really nice uncle or next door neighbor who's always been a conservative person, goes to church, is a nice guy, and then just expects everybody else to follow the rules. That kind of conservative can be kind of naive, in my opinion, but they're not bad people. She's from Virginia? Wow. Oh, yeah. So she goes west, which is Maryland. She goes back to the west. So west of Virginia would be Maryland. Yeah. She goes back to the west. She goes west. So I always want to know the direction. So west of Virginia would be Maryland. And then you can see happy women, women's power. There is a concern that people may be messing a little bit with it, and then the final outcome, contract, and she gets the world. Based on the Blitz, she gets it. Yeah. Only 89 thumbs up. Okay. No, 339, 7 thumbs up. All right. How about we shuffle the cards and give people a chance to do thumbs up and subscribe. And then when we start to see the numbers go up, we can do another Blitz. Saw another reader do that one time, and it was like, hey, that really worked. Well, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, the father knows best type. Who doesn't? And those guys are great to have in your life. I mean, they're just the best people, but they don't understand that not everyone is like, yeah, it's kind of like really good people who are conservatives. Well, everyone who does this should do that. Yes, but they don't, because, yeah. Okay. Maryland is east of Virginia. I always thought of Virginia as southeast of Maryland, but I could be wrong. But I always also think of Knight of Wands as to return back. But you might be right. Three of Pentacles, though, is a good sign because it means that she gets the contract. Yeah, the squares from the 50s and 60s. I really like them. One time we went to Ford's I think my parents wanted Ford to get the nomination because he was the most moderate. So even though we were Democrats, we went to the election thing of Ford just because we were supporting him as the Republican. And there were all these wonderful, sweet conservatives there, and they were so kind. And I thought, hey, how come we don't have more people like this for family friends? Why is it all a bunch of crazy hippies? These people are great. That was my first impression at 14 or however old I was when Ford was running for president. They were really great people. Their politics, I didn't agree with their politics, but I thought they were really nice people. Okay, let's see. So, West Virginia split. Oh, how interesting. Chris Beasley from North Carolina. I don't know who these people are. There's what, 500 something races? I don't know. Sherry Beasley. Okay. Yeah, I mean, also great babysitters and Methodist church people. We just thought they were great. And my mother loved them too. We had this one guy that voted for Ronald Reagan, and he had the sign up next door. He's the only person my mother trusted when she went away on vacation to watch the house and watch the kids and make sure. I mean, he was lovely. It was kind of an interesting thing because I asked my mother about it, and she said, oh, he's lovely. His politics are off the wall, but he's lovely. So, yeah. All right, Sherry Beasley. Could go either way. Is she on the fence? Looks like the other person might be doing better. You can see here power to her opposition, and she's got a 2 of Pentacles. So there's some weakness in this campaign. It could be that this individual may lose to the opposition based on these cards. There could have been some poorly run campaign. They're criticizing the campaign of Sherry Beasley based on this. You can see confusion and wishy-washy for her campaign. The other guy has power here. It was a male she's up against or a female? Hopes and fears, walking away and losing it. And then, she still could pull it off with Fool and Hermit, but it has not been the best campaign. Okay, let's look at Nancy Pelosi. Well, she wanted to step down before this whole nightmare got started because she was planning on retiring fairly soon anyways. So let's look at Nancy Pelosi's future. I feel so terrible for her husband. How are we doing on time? Okay, we're doing okay. Nancy Pelosi. She's heartbroken. She deeply loves her husband. He's her world. She loves him deeply, and it's a nightmare. There's also guilt here. I feel as her, like I did this to my husband by the whole political thing. As irrational as it is, I feel like I'm partly responsible for what happened to my husband, and I'm completely heartbroken. My husband nearly died. A hammer crushed his skull and broke his eye socket. So she's completely heartbroken. The other thing that's deeply disturbing to her is the fact that this hate has gone beyond the United States. So we now have people coming into the United States from Canada and from goodness knows where, trying to kill family members. So from her perspective, it's not just that MAGA is a problem in the United States, it's metastasized to other countries, putting not just America at risk, but Canada at risk, etc. The world is involved now. She says, her main priority, my husband. I want my husband to return. This is her husband's card. The King of Cups is the husband's card, the King of Hearts. Final outcome, things are happening very, very quickly for her. But no, her priority is her husband. Absolutely. She feels like this nightmare won't end. She's worried that I'm detecting a clot has formed. So they're going to have to make sure to watch the blood thinners. There's a clot that has been formed, and that's very dangerous. So she's worried that there could be added problems after the surgery. And loss of the house. She's worried about it's potential that she lost the house. Certainly worried that she could lose her husband. No, it's about her husband. She thought he was going to die. That's what it was. Because look at this. Look, they came into her damn house. Look at that. The others, justice is over those people that were responsible and also there's groups involved. You can see a Lady Justice, the Queen of Swords. They're going to be dealt with harshly. The hope and the fear that he could have hung it up, that he could have died. She says, fear not, women are strong in the house and we will survive. We'll be dancing in the streets. Yeah. As Linda G likes to see when she pulls the Three of Cups. Don't worry about her. I mean, she loves her husband. My God, Three of Swords. How long have those two been together? And Tower. My God, and also the guilt she feels like, my God, this lunatic came to our freaking home and it's metastasized to Canada and Mexico and Latin America now they're joining in. It's like, this thing is out of control. But you've got that, like, when you think about the Queen of Swords, she's truth. It's the sword of truth. So it's become an international issue. MAGA is an international problem, and it's a problem that is going to be dealt with internationally. All right, I think I'm going to call it quits, folks, because we've been here for an hour and 20 minutes. Again, if you'd be kind enough to like and subscribe, I'd be really, really grateful. Also, if you could check out my Frugal Living channel, Baroque Aristocrats. I didn't post anything for a year, so they took my monetization away. So I got to build my monetization again. Oh, well. All right. Thanks, everybody. I will do your Wizios today. Thank you for your patience. And I guess I'll see you guys next time. All right. Be well, everyone.